Do you think that the police just don't want to come to grips with and be honest about who killed Big?
I just think that they don't care.
A recording of Lil' Kim discussing Biggie during an interview has led many to believe that she has exposed Diddy as the person responsible for the death of her best friend Biggie 25 years ago. Lil' Kim and the Notorious Big, aka Biggie Smalls, were two of the best MCs to come out of Brooklyn in the 1990s. The two MCs began their careers together and remained close throughout their careers.
Yo, see, I love a show. It's Power 105.1. Me and Kim in the building talk about the Notorious movie. Now, you just telling me that this is the first time I've ever heard you admit that you were the mistress.
Yeah, I mean, he was married. That's no secret.
It appears that these two were always in each other's company, from collaborating on songs to falling in love despite Biggie's marital status. Biggie Smalls knew Lil' Kim was going to be a big deal the moment he heard her rapping on the corner of Fulton Street in their shared Bedford-Stuyvesant neighborhood. That's why he asked her to join his group, Junior Mafia, and they started making songs together. They both joined Bad Boy and began making music with Diddy and the other producers there. After Biggie's death, the once close bond between Lil' Kim and Diddy has deteriorated into open hostility.
And he said, yeah, I think Kim is more irritated with the fact that, how the situation is going down, especially what Puffy is doing. Yeah, he's darn right about that. Puffy look crazy.
Lil' Kim was explaining why 50 Cent was correct to suggest that Diddy was plotting to replace her. During the time that Diddy and Nicki Minaj performed together, 50 Cent referred to their set as a Diddy and the new Lil' Kim performance. Although Lil' Kim didn't appreciate 50 Cent attacking her without first acknowledging her, she acknowledged that what he stated was accurate and that Diddy, with whom she's collaborated for years, was attempting to displace her.
At the end of the day, Puffy is Puffy. It's all about what he can do, what he can give.
Lil' Kim went as far as saying that Diddy put himself first and ignored the needs of those around him. This is a serious claim coming from someone who was close to Diddy, and it may suggest that Diddy didn't give a hoot about anything that didn't directly benefit him or Biggie. Diddy would have profited nothing from Biggie leaving the Bad Boys for greener pastures. Gene Deal, who appeared on DJ Vlad's vlog, claims that Biggie had plans to depart Bad Boy and sign a lucrative deal for more than $60 million before his untimely demise. When Biggie first signed with Diddy, he received only a few $100 a year in exchange for giving Diddy complete control of his musical output. Biggie clearly brought in a lot of money from Bad Boys, but he was only paid a pittance for his efforts, which is ironic considering the legendary status of his songs. This was confirmed by Deal, who claimed to have seen Big's Bad Boy contract while guarding Diddy's briefcase on a plane. He showed me. It had Charlie Baltimore, Cameron, Lil Cease, Lil' Kim, Junior Mafia, Tracy Lee, and the Commission, he explained. I think the contract was for so many years for like $62 million. It comes out to $62 million. Deal claims that Big planned to depart the Bad Boys because he wanted them to change their business practices, and instead start writing and holding their own. Biggie believed Gene was too loyal to Puffy to go, so he intended to take Deal and his best friend Lil' Kim with him to the next company. All of this speaks to the conclusion that Diddy didn't want Biggie to leave Bad Boys because of the impact it would have had on him. Some say Diddy didn't have anything to do with killing Biggie, but he probably does know who was responsible. A former FBI agent involved in the Biggie case claims that Diddy was the intended victim of the shooting and that Diddy must have been aware of the hit on him. Biggie's killer remains at large, despite Agent Phil Carson's certainty that he has identified both the shooter and the man who funded the killing. If Diddy was the target of the hit, then the multimillionaire himself would have paid for an inquiry into the death of his friend and fellow artist. In the New York Post, Agent Phil said that corrupt Los Angeles detectives had covered up the investigation and that Diddy had been quite freaked out upon hearing the news. He also alleged that numerous other persons were implicated in the murder. Phil claimed that in his 20 years with the FBI, this was the biggest miscarriage of justice he had ever seen, and that when he uncovered evidence implicating LAPD officers, the LAPD and Los Angeles city attorneys ignored it. If this is the case, then Diddy must have had some sort of in with the LAPD in order to find out who was trying to kill him. Otherwise, the 25-year-old boy who should have been killed instead would still be alive and seeking justice today, while Diddy would be 53 years old and living the high life.
I was locked up. Puffy never put a fucking $10 bill, a penny, a quarter in my fucking commissary. He never fucking wrote me a letter. He didn't try to come see me. No.
After Lil' Kim got to prison, Diddy allegedly stopped communicating with her and stopped visiting her. After Biggie died, he was her only remaining buddy. Thus, it's understandable that she feels betrayed by him. Perhaps that was the case with Biggie, and by the time he left, Diddy no longer considered him a buddy. Diddy has been using Biggie for publicity for so long that if he truly intended to uncover the person responsible for his friend's death, he would have done so long ago. You may recall that, despite Gene having warned Diddy that there was a hit out on the Bad Boy members, Diddy nevertheless insisted that Biggie come along to the after party. Biggie was under him. Diddy should have asked him to stay at home, but now is not the time to debate what Puff should have done or not done. The tragic incident has already taken place. All that remains is for Diddy to aid in identifying and apprehending the killer.
That's why I said in my Baltimore show, Puffy, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to rock with anybody that hard, you should be rocking with me that hard.
When Lil' Kim was released from prison, she felt deceived by Diddy since he didn't seek out her or ask if he could work with her. Instead, he recorded an album with Nicki Minaj, who was at the time her competition. Since Nicki was named the Queen of Rap, Kim felt she had been supplanted, and Diddy's collaboration with Nicki made her feel like she had been forgotten.
And you can never make another Big and Kim. That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. What?
Kim's betrayal is evident in the fact that she publicly said there could be no such thing as another Lil' Kim. She must have been so irritated by always being compared to Lil' Kim, and 50 Cent calling Nicki a new Lil' Kim didn't help. She felt that Diddy, after she got out of jail, should have rapped with her just as hard as he had with Nicki.
You could have fucking came to see me one time. You could have wrote me one letter. Even with the movie, they played the shit out of me with that movie. And I'm still rocking, even after they played the shit out of me with the movie.
Lil' Kim stated that Diddy had not only forgotten her, but also had played her with the Biggie biopic. She says she was not consulted about her portrayal in the film, and is upset that it was created as if she needed more talent and was only successful because she was Biggie's girlfriend. She felt misrepresented since it was implied in the film that Biggie composed all her songs, but in fact, she wrote her own lyrics and only turned to Biggie for assistance when she was stuck. She claims she truly loved Biggie and that he reciprocated that feeling, but she was naive and did not know any better because of her age at the time of their relationship. What happened to Biggie remains a mystery despite the fact that many people have been casually accused of killing him, and that those responsible are allowed to go about their business. Gene alleges he questioned Biggie about the legitimacy of the contract, and the rapper allegedly told him about his new deal and all the more money he'd make. The contract stated Big's revenues in increments of $250,000, but left publishing income in Puff's ownership. A fan on Twitter said, "When Keisha said she wakes up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy, does she mean great and ready to party, or forever burdened by knowing who killed Tupac and Biggie? In this essay, I will." Another said, "I never said Diddy killed Tupac and Biggie. I just think he knows the killers personally." And that's it from us today. Until next time, bye.